Okay, we're doing the fuel tank now. This is the original tank. Doesn't look too bad. Inside is kind of nasty, but to be expected for anything that's been sitting for a while. There's a couple dents like here and here. Those I think must have come from when car was getting taken apart. There's a pretty good one right there. You can see that's buckled in. You know, and then there's a few more across the bottom here and there, and some dents, and you can see where the whole thing's been undercoated. So it's still very usable as a tank, but considering how nice the thing's going to be, I figured let's make it nice. So I've got a used tank here. This is off a 75 Roadrunner. The only difference between the 75 and 6 and 77, 78 is this. This is the vent line, and on here it's this thing. Otherwise, they fit the same. They're the same gallonage. You know, everything else is the same. The one difference is, here we go, you can take a look. This is the original sending unit. It has a return line. This is the 75. It does not have a return line. Starting in 77, they started having return lines on stuff. So that's the difference. And there's a new one, hopefully a couple months. The company that makes them, Vans Auto, will have one here. And then I can get it in. But I can put that in after the tank is in the car. But what I'm doing with the inside of the tank, I'm cleaning it, because this tank also has been sitting for a long time. And you can see it's surface-wise, it's a lot rustier. But what this thing is sitting on, it's my gas tank cleaner. And I'll turn it on here. Makes a lot of noise, as you can tell. And I'll tell you why. Let me turn it off here. Inside, I have a whole bunch of landscaping rock that looks like that. Good sharp stuff. I put 10 to 15 handfuls in there. And I just let that go for 8 to 12 hours, then I'll flip it around. I can make the thing run the other direction. It's essentially a giant rock tumbler. It turns at 4 RPM, which is just about perfect. Any faster than that, and has a tendency to get out of balance, and it stops, or it goes too fast, I should say, and then it throws itself out of balance. But just a quick explanation of what this is. There's a geared motor set to begin with, and then I'm running it through. I found this out of a old clothes dryer, and that's just it's a gear reduction or increase pulley, depending on which direction you're going with it. And then this is just an old wheel bearing off of something, I think it was a Chevy pickup. You know, just so I could have something that I could set this bracket onto. And that's bolted in. There's a bolt, you can kind of see it right there. That's welded to this, and that goes through the hub, and it's bolted on, so it's not going to fall off. Now I'll turn it on, and like I said, run for 12 hours. Then go backwards 12 hours, and then if I can, I'll take the tank off, I'll flip it upside down, so then this will be the other direction. And then repeat the process again, open it up. I might open it up somewhere in between there, see once how good and clean it is. Take the rocks out, put new ones in, because they do round off after a while. Yeah, it works good. And this tank still had a little bit of old gas in, so it's slimy in there. I threw a little bit of gas in it to kind of loosen up some of the really gummy varnish crap, and threw the rocks in there. And there we go. And it's going to be like this. I don't have to be in the shop tomorrow, and I'm going to let this run. Usually I let it run outside if I'm going to be gone for the day, and I don't have any neighbors that are close, so they don't care. There it is. Okay, fuel tank is done. After spending a lot of time on the tumbler, you know, got it done. I sandblasted the outside the other day and did POR 15 on the outside. And normally POR 15 is black, but they've got a if you can read that. It's stainless steel. It looks about as close as you're gonna get to, you know, the original kind of galvanized finish to it. Oops, let me grab my light here. It's tough to see with the camera in there. A little bit of light in there. See a little bit, you know, there's still some crap in there, but a lot of that is, it looks worse than it is really, especially on camera. But I chemically treated it on the inside too to kill whatever rust was left in there, and that just one of those things where you'll have to change filters a little more frequently for the first, you know, oh, sorry about the camera angle there, but for the first few thousand miles, just to make sure all the junk is out and everything else, and after that, just kind of regular maintenance. I'm a big fan of the plastic clear filter so you can see what's going on. It doesn't look original, but that's the way it is. You can see there's a dent here. There's a couple of little ones. Kind of tough to pull dents out of gas tanks. That's the best gas tank I had. And the reality is, when it's up underneath the car, the only person that's ever going to see it is the guy that's working on your car. And you know, it's a gas tank. This isn't a 1,000-point restoration. It's a good driver, and it's going to look fantastic underneath there. And over here, I've got some of the other parts, the straps, and a few other pieces that go underneath. And I'll be putting those on the car pretty soon. There's the car. And I've got a whole mess of brand new stainless steel lines, brake lines, and fuel lines. They'll be going underneath there too. So that video will be momentarily also, just hopefully in a few days. Alright, thanks. And I kind of forgot about something earlier. But here it is. Boy, it's bright outside. This stuff right here, you know, from the factory there was kind of a weird kind of feltish pad that was supposed to help knock down some noise and some vibration. Well, that was long gone. And even if it was around, it was probably in bad shape anyway. So I got, and these things are called Q pads. They're made by Evercoat. You know, and they make all kinds of other auto body related stuff. But it's kind of it's a really sticky stuff. It's not going to peel up very easy. You can, and it's out in the sun, so I was able to form it, and it makes a big difference on the sound. And if I can talk, it serves the same purpose. Only I think it's a little nicer, because if you can hear this, what that sounds like, and there's obviously, this is the top. The bottom has nothing on it. And now I go up to the top side. You know, I don't know how well that's going to translate onto a YouTube video, but there's a pretty noticeable difference in the sound, and hopefully then that won't come up through the trunk with gas sloshing around and whatnot. So there we go. Now I think I'm done with this gas tank video.